What's up, everybody? Peter Eichemann's here, taking a look at Tom Clancy's Ghost+Recon Future+Soldier, and I'm sitting here with
Roman Camposoyola, and I'm the lead game designer on Ghost+Recon.
Great. Can you give us a little bit of an introduction to what we're looking at right here?
So currently we are looking at the 10th mission of the game. That mission is set in Russia. So you're playing a team of 4 ghosts, which are the most elite special forces of the US Army. And you have a lot of high-tech tools in order to play.
So let's start with the first one. Let's dig into camouflage right away. What's the camouflage all about?
So it's the active camouflage. So the idea is that as soon as you move slowly or get to a crouch or prone position, that will activate. And it's not magic, it's not an invisibility cloak or that kind of stuff. The idea is that part of your uniform is made of optic fiber that can let the light pass through it. And all the big metal pieces like your helmet or part of your gun are made of metal materials that can blend lightning.
Okay, great. And what's next? What else do we have here?
So we also have the drone. So we have a lot of intel tool. Intel is the ability for the ghost to mark the enemy. So here, for instance, do you see the enemy? Do you see that yellow square that's placed on the enemy? That's the intel. And that is shared between your team. So the drone can acquire intel for you, but we also have a lot of devices like sensor grenade, optical camera, that kind of stuff that can create intel for your team.
Okay, so right now you can see he's marking each of the targets, and as each one turns blue, that means they're ready to take the shot.
Exactly, so that's what we call the synchronized shot. Basically, the idea is that it's the new order system. The idea of that order system is that it's seamless whether you're playing with AI teammates or player co-op, because the full game is playable up to 4 players in co-op, and we wanted the system to work the same way. So you just have to mark targets, and when you aim at your target becomes blue. That means that you're synchronizing it. And when your full team is synchronized, you just have to press the trigger, and bang, all your teammates will shoot at the same time.
Just like that. And great, what other tools are there in the arsenal after the first 2 big tech ones?
So here, for example, we have a sniper rifle with what we call DARPA rounds. DARPA rounds are heat-seeking bullets. So when you're in scope view and you aim at an enemy, you will see that small looking piece of HUD that will come on the head of any enemy. And when it turns red, that means that you can the bullet has locked on the enemy and it will directly go to his head. We have flashbang, we have frag grenades, we have incendiary ammo, we have a lot and lot of equipment.
So I guess in kind of designing a map like this, how do you go about breaking up what is meant to be done kind of stealthily and what's meant to be done in just open combat?
So really one of the focus of Ghost+Recon, and especially in that map, is to give to the player the play area, so the situation, and then let him play the way he wants. So if you're really good and you want to do it, you can play it almost full in stealth, shooting the guy when they turn around and when they don't see the dead body and that kind of stuff. Or you can go all the way around gun blazing and shooting everybody. It's really up how you want to play. But still, the most important part is do a little bit of recon in order to know where your enemy are, because you don't want to get trapped in the middle of the firefight with no cover around you and being flanked and that kind of stuff.
Are there any penalties if you're spotted at a certain point? Do more enemies come for reinforcement or anything?
So yeah, definitely. We have a lot of situations where if you get spotted by the enemy, they will call reinforcements in the form of vehicle, BTR, jeep, and that kind of stuff. So of course, if you're playing the situation stealthy, you will face less enemy force. But it's kind of harder to stay stealthy for the full duration of the mission.
Yeah, it seems like, especially on this map, there's a lot of scenarios where there's a lot of entrance points, so there's enemies on many different sides. So I mean, I guess, what would you recommend in a situation like this? How do you go about not being spotted and making sure you do see everyone?
So I recommend using a lot of the drone in order to have a big view from the top of the battlefield, because through the drone you will be able to see the different entry points, you will be able to see the patrol of the enemy, so you will be able to pick your target at the right moment. So when 2 enemies cross and they don't see each other, like you can kill one guy in the back of the other guy, you can shoot them simultaneously and so on. Really, the drone is the perfect tool for that. So drone synchronization, it does the job.
What exactly are we looking for as the goal of this mission once we get into it?
So the goal of the mission, so there has been a coup in Russia, and here the Ghosts are in a Black Ops operation, and they are here to help the loyalist Russian army to seize back the power. And so here you're helping General Duka, that is under heavy fire, and you need to go and destroy the artillery that are shooting at him. So you are behind enemy lines, and here we are trying to seize an outpost in order to reach the line where are the artillery.
So what's the best way to handle a situation like that where you've marked your 4 targets, but there's a 5th enemy still waiting around?
So one of the small advantages that gives you the synchronized shot is when you perform a synchronized shot, you have a small slow motion window. And that slow motion window is useful in co-op because it allows you to shoot at the same time with the other player. But it also allows you to shoot a 5th target during the slow motion and without having it. So of course, obviously here we missed it.
It's close still.
That's the idea.
You still haven't been ambushed by enemy forces.
Yeah, they're coming. So here, so once you will have secured the outpost, you will be able to proceed forward to a forward operation base of the enemy, where you will be able to retrieve data on where the enemy's artillery are. Exactly.
So how did you guys take the kind of tactics and abilities of the original Ghost+Recon games and try to further them and bring new content into what we're doing now?
So basically, Ghost+Recon has always been about team play and playing with whether the AI or your real player teammate. But one thing that we wanted is make it more accessible, not less deep in terms of tactics and choice, but more accessible, less inputs, less buttons to press at the same time, and that kind of stuff. And by watching player playing, in fact, we figured that you are always trying to give order to your teammate, but toward the target. You in the previous Advanced Warfighter, you were saying to your Ghost, go behind that cover or flank here and so on. But in order to shoot that target or draw fire from that target and that kind of stuff. So in fact, we end up saying, hey, why aren't we making the order about targets and not about position? And that's where all the marking system came from. And like I say, what is really interesting with that system too is that it works exactly in the same way with real players and human. So it's still dev, and you still have the choice because you need to pick the right target, you need to shoot them at the right time. If there is too many targets, you need to pick the most dangerous one in order to start the fight without having those 2 RPGs on the tower shooting at you, that kind of stuff. But it's much more accessible, and at least today, when we make playtesting, when we make the game playtest, when we make playtest on the game with real players, we see them using the order system much more than previously.
So as you can, the interface shows some really unique waypoints. Do those adjust to wherever you are on the map to get from point A to point B?
Yeah, exactly. So we use that in order, as when you get to the end game, like here, we start to have a pretty big environment, and in order to guide the player in that, we use the augmented reality. So it would be like, oh, well done, like GPS data that has been collected and directly transferred to your hub. So here we have launched a frag grenade in the middle of the recon. So of course your enemy are
given away, yeah.
Are not dead, and there you.
So it's another situation where you really get to choose how you want to tackle this situation, where you can either get shot and wait to get healed, like this, or you can also approach it stealthily again, right?
Yeah, again. So again here, that situation is a big barn. So you need to, you can clearly read the full situation without being noticed. It's really tough, but you can do it. And as you see, when you don't do any recon at all, it's kind of tough.
Have you seen in your development so far with the testers, has anyone been able to play through the whole game just out of cover, just shooting everything in their way?
You can, but you need to be really good. No, basically we have some objective which force you to play stealthy. We have some forced stealth situation where you get detected, you get a game over, but that's a really exotic situation. Then, yeah, of course, if you want, you can play without the cover, without the stealth, but it will be tougher, much tougher. For instance, enemy like this one have a heavy weapon like LMGs, and when they shoot at you with your LMG, they can suppress you. So that's where the camera starts to shake a lot and so on. And in this situation, either you try to shoot back to the guy and you need to be really good and really accurate, and it's tough. Or you rely on your tools like marking the guy for your teammate, or using the drone to mark him for your teammate, or pop a smoke grenade in order to have you disappear and have the guy just stop shooting at you. That kind of stuff. Yeah, for instance, it's suppressed and now you're dead.
Can you talk a little bit about the cover jumping system? You can see a marker where you're indicating where your player wants to go.
Yeah. So when you're at cover, actually you can do what we call the cover swapping. So basically, when you're at cover, you aim at another cover that is at less than 20 meters away, and by just holding the A button, you will directly swap to that cover. It's like a locked rush to that cover point.
Is there a limit to the number of times you can be downed by enemy fire and revived?
Actually, there is 3 limits. The first one is your teammate. So if all your teammates are dead, no one will come to revive you, and that will be a game over. Then we have the explosive. So if you get shot by, if you go down because of a frag grenade or it from a tank or that kind of stuff, you will be dead. And sometimes enemies can headshot you, and that's a direct game over without down state.
Okay, so you're not safe from your own tactics.
No. What something we wanted. At first, we had a down counter. We used to have that, and what we figured is that before your last life, going down was not a big issue for the player. We're like, oh, it's okay. I still have 3 life or 4 life, and so on. So we didn't want that kind of behavior. We wanted that every time you go down, we wanted to actually matter. And here it's stuck in the middle of.
Yeah, here's a situation where it's open on a lot of sides, so
yeah, I got.
It's a matter of collecting the right intel. So thanks, Ramon, for showing us a little bit about Ghost+Recon. And for everyone else, keep it locked on IGN.com for all your Tom Clancy's Ghost+Recon Future Soldier needs.